Spencer, a comfortable 4-0 victory over Peacehaven and Telscombe in the FA Cup today. Your reaction?
Comfortable in the end. The first half, they banked off, they put 10 men behind the ball, made it very difficult for us, a credit to them, but we were poor. Very, very poor in the way that our movement was and our execution, so I was very disappointed. I think we'd had one chance, they'd had one. I mean, we dominated the ball, but we're very poor with the execution against a team that just banked off. So sometimes you've got to work a way past it, and we didn't really have a clue how to do that. And it was really harsh on poor Leo as left back. I took him off to be more attacking. He'd done very little wrong, and we made a double change and a shape change. And after that, it was very comfortable. Should have probably been 7 or 8, to be fair. And I've said to them in their dressing room after there, we've got to take on instruction better, and it shouldn't take a shape change and a personnel change, and that affected other things going forward as well. But with all the niggles we've got, Ricky wasn't available today, though we would have rested him. We were trying to rest John, we were trying to rest Seth, Reggie obviously with a knock as well, and we still don't have Reece with concussion protocols, or Dante, our goalkeeper, with concussion protocols. So yeah, pleasing to be in the next round. In the second half we really showed what we're about, which is almost embarrassing that we didn't bother doing that in the first half, but at the end of the day we're in the hat, and no one will remember any different, and we'll move on.
What did you say at half time? It seemed to work.
Not a lot that can be said on this transmission. I was just very unhappy that we'd gone off game plan. We have to understand that teams will bank off against us, and there was some harsh words said. Change of formation, change of personnel. As I said, very hard on Leo, who I thought was very, very good. So, yeah, we didn't want to go out the FA Cup. It's a one-off opportunity. My record in the FA Cup's not great at all, but I don't think we've ever lost to a side below us in the levels. We've had some awful draws against sides pretty much at our level, and it's a fantastic opportunity. The FA Cup's an amazing occasion. The fans were here, and we just didn't perform. So there were some real hard words said, and there's been some hard words said at the end of the game as well, because credit that we're in the next round, but it's where you want to be. Do we want to be just better than last year? We blatantly are. Or do we want to be pushing to win a lot of games? And standards this season have been set very high.
And 90 minutes today for Richard Orlu. He must feel like a new signing.
That's fantastic. I mean, he wanted to come off after about 60, but because I'd been forced into changes, I couldn't do that. So he's feeling a bit tight, as his cards. But fantastically, he got through it. And yeah, I mean, I'm so pleased to get him back. And Fernandez, that was his first minutes back in some time as well. So great, we've got through with just really tiredness, and so that's a big plus of the day. But yeah, fantastic to get Richard back.
And Tarek came in goal today, clean sheet for him.
Yeah, the goalkeeping thing has really taken over part of my world in the last few weeks. So Dante is ruled out on concussion grounds, and we signed Kingsley on a strict 2-game only basis. He needed to be a free agent on transfer deadline day, the 31st, so we had to deregister him straight after Swindon. So we always knew he was only playing the 2 games. Tarek had come in, he'd been the number 2 at Bromley. With all nice respect to him, glad he got a clean sheet. He'll play on Wednesday night, but we're fully expecting to have Dante back, subject to concussion rules on Saturday. So great for him to clean sheet. He's a lovely lad, and we'll see what happens in the future. But Dante's our number 1, and as soon as he's cleared the concussion protocols, we're expecting him back between the sticks.
And looking ahead to next week, Met Police won at Lewis in the FA Cup today, so we will have a game on Wednesday in the League Cup. What are your thoughts on how we're going to play it?
Well, I want to be very fair to our fans. It's going to be, the vast majority will be the 23s that we've signed up. There'll be 1 or 2 first team squad members getting some minutes. The keeper will play. We will get some minutes into George and the youngster Myers, who came on in the second half. But it will be a complete change. And I know Met Police have told us they're going to do the same. So Jamie, our under-23s manager, is going to take the game. I'll be here, of course. It's a chance to look at minutes. It's a competition I'm afraid I'm not a fan of. I think there's so much wrong with the competition with regards. There's no big final, there's nothing to win in it, and you could end up going God knows where on a Tuesday night. So it's a competition we will use for our purposes, but it will be a wholesale change. And then obviously that's with the basis we've got a massive game with Taunton, who are a fantastic side and definitely will be right up there. They've just beaten Truro. They lost by the odd goal to Hayes and pushed them hard, and that's a massive test for us, and we need to get people fit, so we need to manage them over this week, see who's available. Hopefully Reece will also be available after concussion, but then what's his level of fitness? Eli still got a knock. He struggled at training the other week, so we're not rushing him back. He may get some minutes in the 23s game, so we just have to be careful with everybody at the moment. I'm sure most clubs are in the same boat, and it certainly affects us a lot down at Swindon as well.
Yes, and Swindon, what were your thoughts on the game? Obviously, first defeat of the season.
Yeah, I mean, the Swindon was really frustrating because I thought the game started fairly evenly. If anything, I think we had the better chances. We took the lead with a goal, and I don't know what it was. I wonder if we thought, oh, here we go again, we're just going to ease through this game. But Swindon have two outstanding forwards. They had two wingers that were very, very good as well. And unfortunately, if you take three out of our back five, goalkeeper and back four, out of the game, they really turned us over. Very, very disappointing defensive performance. There was no pressure on the ball from our perspective. I'm not going to take anything away from Swindon. I think he said that was the best performance he'd seen from them in 2 or 3 years. But we were battered. There was no other way of describing it. It was really hard on youngsters. Leo playing, Seth being injured, and obviously the change of goalkeeper as well. So it was a real lesson. You can use whatever you call as far as a wake-up call. I thought it was extremely disappointing, but I also felt to a small degree it had been coming that when key players are out we would struggle, and it just shows us that how desperately we are to keep everybody fit, which is incredibly difficult. And I said Swindon, as I said before, we'd go there. They're a bit of our bogey team. They're a very good footballing side, and on the day I thought they were fantastic and we were poor. But really, if we got through 5-10 minutes at 1-0 up, I think we probably would have ended up winning the game 2 or 3 zip. We had control, they were dropping deep, but we couldn't defend a simple ball over the top. We didn't react to it. Too many players were moaning about others instead of doing their own jobs, and we were well beaten on the day. But it was tough, 2 games in 40 hours, and we had to battle through it, and we didn't do well enough on the day. But let's not get away from the fact we'd won the previous 3. We should have won the other 4th. It's a decent start, but it's a real marker for where we need to get to, and we've got another massive one coming up here with Taunton, who, as I said, are a very strong test, and we'll need to be at our very best to have a chance of beating them.
Thanks, Spencer, and well done today.
Thanks, Tom.